Hi there. Thanks for listening and subscribing. I make these War on Death videos, and they're mainly about the fact that there has been a disconnect between the needs of people and the activities of businesses. And of course, you know that's the truth when you learn about subsidized businesses, and you know that's the truth when you see how much credit is given to people. But I thought it was important to mention one thing, one very key notion that I think that just drives me crazy if I think about it, and that is that wealth is related to the amount of energy that you have available. You know, we live in a time where people are talking about cap and trade and windmills and solar panels and all that stuff, and it's all very expensive and very, very difficult. That's bogus, that's bullshit. It's not. Solar panels, for instance, are too expensive because they are made by a process that is not cost efficient. They are made using lots of electricity. But just to make the point is that imagine a world in which energy was completely free. Just there's no cost to any energy that you use, any type of it also. So, for instance, if you want to go cook, you can cook, it's free. If you want to go drive, you can drive, it would be free. If you want to go fly, you can fly, but the service would not include fuel prices because there would not be any fuel prices. If you want to heat your home, it would be free. If you want to run a washing machine, it would be free to run it. Of course, if you want to build it, it would also be free to build it because the tools would work without you having to pay for an electricity bill. You would only pay for the labor and the skills of the builder, let's say. That's a society that is achievable. You know, if you want to work on farmland to grow crops, and you use robots for that, so you use automated agricultural machines that are completely automatic with computer vision, and they run on some kinds of energy that you have generated. And that energy is at no cost. You could also turn this into no significant cost. But basically that's the same as no cost. Imagine that world. That world is possible. That is the world that uses alternative energy. That is the world that goes crazy about solar thermal power plants in the desert of America. That doesn't hesitate to build those. That's the world that goes crazy about wave energy, that thinks, you know, really, it's outrageous how much energy is there in tidal currents and waves. That's such a mass of water that flows in and out. If you make that available into the grid, or available into compressed air, or available into steam and steam compression, available into ammonia that you can also use as fertilizer to fertilize the land, then you create a society where almost everything is free and everybody is super wealthy. How do I know that? Well, two things. First of all, we have had that society in the 20th century. That is what has happened. Because oil comes out of the ground for free. Of course it costs money to drill for it and transport it. But you have noticed maybe that that's a marginal cost. You go to a gas station, you get gas for like 50 euro cent, or of course not, but let's say I now pay €1.50 per liter super. That stuff comes out of the Middle East, thousands of miles away, out of the ground or some ocean somewhere, freaking cold, drilled very deep. People have worked for months. There's a whole process around it, and I'm not paying for that at all. I'm just paying like the €1.50 out of my salary. That is of course a multiple of that. It's free. Fossil fuels are free. Now, I'm sorry, maybe I'm just giving you a pointy head, as we say in Holland. But imagine a society where alternative energy has reached the level and the capacity of what we now use fossil fuel. What you have created then is a sustainable society in which work can be done by machines, and most of the things are free. You can grow your food for free, you can transport yourself for free, you can go to the sauna, to the library, to the cinema, to the restaurant. Everything will be free. That's something that people don't realize, because they're constantly being presented these doom scenarios of some kind of middle age 2050 period where you cannot use your car and you cannot use this and that. That's bullshit. That is protectionist fear mongering by the traditional fossil fuel industry. And really, this is the most outrageous aspect of it, is that if you just stop hesitating about alternative energy, then not only do you create jobs, then people say, well, alternative, me too, say, that's the best investment. You create skills, you create jobs, you create work, and that's good in the transition period. That should be it's a huge use of manpower, because all the people are jobless now and they can all work on alternative energy solutions or insulating homes or doing all kinds of good stuff that reduces the energy consumption. But in the end, if there is way more energy than alternative energy than you actually need, and you have all decided that you're not going to pay for it, that you're just going to do it, and somebody has a job at the energy company and has, of course there's a little bit of give and take, then you don't have to worry about jobs. Why would you work if everything is free? Why would you work if growing the food doesn't require buying fuel, if building a house doesn't require buying fuel, if transporting the bricks from the house to your place doesn't require buying fuel, if all these things are free, all these activities become free. No, then nobody will worry about joblessness, and nobody will worry about getting a job, because you can simply share everything. You don't have to fight over it anymore, because there's no limited resource anymore. That's the whole key idea behind alternative energy. It's an unlimited resource. If you make it locally, it completely eliminates the need to compete. Of course you want to have some, there's some resources like precious metals, or maybe not precious metals, but steel and rare earth metals, those kind of stuff, that you might not have. But if you have enough energy, then you can probably produce something that you can trade for that. A key notion to the whole alternative energy lobby. Think about it. Everything, if your energy is free, your wealth is free and protected. It's not a doom scenario at all. And that should be, that's a concept that people should get about alternative energy, turnip energy. No alternative energy. It's undepletable, unlimited resource that doesn't require any competition. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope I made my point clear.